What's happening, my legal people? It's your favorite neighborhood lawyer, Marquel Cade with Cade Mark Law, back with another resource for you. Now, growing up in the hood, to serve somebody meant something completely different than it does today as a lawyer. As a lawyer, when you serve someone, this is typically the first step in a lawsuit. You need to provide them with notice that they're being sued. You've seen this in movies and commercials and various other types of pop culture media when someone walks up to another person, has a stack of legal documents and says, "Are you such and such? You've been served." Today, we're going to talk about 3 requirements for service and things you should know. The first and perhaps most important thing you should know about service is that it's required for a lawsuit to continue. Oftentimes, if the other party doesn't have notice or hasn't been served properly with the documentation of the lawsuit won't move forward after that point. There are a lot of times where courts will dismiss your complaint or dismiss your case because the other party hasn't gotten proper notice that a lawsuit has occurred. This means that service is very important. It means that you must execute service in almost every instance where you're dealing with the court or where you're filing something with the court, as the other party has to have an opportunity to see that and respond to it. The second thing to know about service is that anyone over 18 that's not a party to the case can be a process server. They can be that person that walks up to your individual and goes, "Hey, are you such and such?" and hands them the court paperwork. This could be your cousin, this could be your friend. As long as they're not a party to the lawsuit and they're over 18 years old, they are allowed to provide these court documents to the other party. And a lot of times this saves my clients money. They're able to use someone in their network to provide these documents to the other party and fulfill the requirements of service. The third thing you should know about service is that it's often required to be personally handed to the party that you're serving. There are some exceptions to this rule and some instances where you can leave it at their usual place of abode or their usual place of business, or leave it with someone who's over 18 and it's reasonably calculated to get to the defendant. But generally speaking, to fulfill the service requirements, you must personally have your process server hand these documents to the individual. Sometimes this can be tricky if you don't know where the person is, if they're ducking service and not accepting the documents, those types of things. But lawyers have tools in their toolbox that they can use to help you overcome these obstacles. So if you're having trouble with service, seek a lawyer, seek an attorney. We often have access to things that you don't have access to as a regular citizen. We could perform private investigations, skip traces, and find a person, for example, if you're having trouble locating them. That's all, folks. Thank you so much for joining us today. Disclaimer alert, this video is not a complete comprehensive video on service, just 3 things that you should generally be aware of. Once again, I am Marquel Cade with Cade Mark Law, your favorite neighborhood lawyers. Protect your brand, grow your business, stay frosty, my friends. We will see you next time. We hope this was helpful.